Who would you rather take, Lennox Lewis at his prime or Mike Tyson at his prime? That's a good question. Those are two of my favorite boxers back in the day. I don't know if anyone are fans of boxing fans or that back in the day, but I used to love watching those guys fight for different reasons, though. Lennox Lewis, so methodical, just jabs in bunches. He was bigger. It made his hook and his cross so much more effective. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson, just a highlight reel of knockouts. I mean, I watched him damn near knock a guy's head off his shoulders in one of his title fights in, of course, the first round. I mean, just fantastic. I really see that's what we have here with the Red Sox and the Yankees. Two contrasting styles. Red Sox led all major leagues by a long shot in hits this year. Over 1,500 hits, over 150 more hits than the Yankees. Meanwhile, the Yankees, of course, broke the record for the most home runs. Completely different, 60 more home runs than the Red Sox. Completely different styles, which is interesting to break down. Both effective, but very different. So as I'm capping these games, we have this X factor of when that uppercut may come by the Yankees. You know, it doesn't take much for them. I mean, especially if they can get a walk or a guy on and they can put the ball over the fence. Now, yesterday we capped that with Eovaldi having not given up a home run through the entire month of September and coming into that outing. He was able to be effective, and I capped half of that game right. Severino was just, didn't have his control, was not effective like he had been at home, left in a little too long, and then next thing you know, 16 runs are scored. I mean, that's the way those Lewis fights used to go. It was jab, 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 watching 6 rounds of jabs, and then next thing you know, this a hook or a cross would come in, and the guy is laying on the canvas. And so it's those base hits, those walks, the patience. It all adds up to runs and wins for the Red Sox. Meanwhile, we have the Yankees that are just, they're like a sleeping giant, and I'm nervous about when they could blast a home run, especially as we break down Porcello going against Sabathia here in Game 4. So let me break this down for you real quick and my take on this, because I really only see it one way when it comes to picking the side. There's really one way I'm going to break this down. So let me go to Porcello. Porcello against the Yankees this year, first on the road. He's got a 3.86 ERA. He's 10-3, fantastic on the road. A 253 batting average to his opponents. However, it's 226 at home. So what is the difference? And we always look at this. It's home runs. In Fenway, he's given up 17 home runs in 15 starts. That's a problem. 226 batting average is great, but 17 home runs is too many, which is why we get the elevated ERA. Meanwhile, on the road, 253 opponent batting average, which is a little elevated, but only 10 home runs given up in 18 starts, which is great, which is where we get the lower ERA at 3.86. That also is a factor when pitching against the Yankees. Now, in the last 30 days, he's given up 4 home runs in 5 games. Opponents hitting 224, very similar to his home starts. Against the Yankees this season, he has been great, but he did have one really bad outing. He's 2-0, 23 and a third innings, 11 hits, 6 runs given up. However, in Yankee Stadium, he has an 8.44 ERA. He had one start there, 5 and a third, 8 hits, 5 runs. Almost his entire season's production came in New York in this outing. Yankees at 381 in New York against him. But that was back in May. Keep that in mind. That was back in May. He then had successful starts against the Yankees consecutive. He's had 4 starts this year against them. So the rest of the season, he pitched fantastic against him. So I don't want to hold that against him too much, but you'll see the way I'm going here in just 1 second. And now we have CC on the mound. He's been clutch before, but never a complete shutdown guy. His ERA is typically between 3 and 4, no matter how you slice it, whether it's in a Game 4, in the postseason, with the Yankees at home. It's between 3 and 4 the whole time. So not phenomenal. He's not like the ace with a sub-3 ERA, but it's not abysmal where you're just going to fade him no matter what. 3.12 ERA at home this season, 252 opponent batting average. All is good there. 80 hits in 80 innings. That may be exploited today. His last 30 days, not key on his game. 5.4 ERA, .311 opponent batting average. And against Boston, 4.5 ERA, 14 innings, 18 hits, 7 runs. That Lennox Lewis jabs gets to him. 5 walks, 300 average against him from the Red Sox. That's important to note. He did have a couple quotes to the media talking about how he doesn't like to pitch against Boston because they have a lot of patience. They push his pitch count up. It's not good for him. He said he wasn't looking forward to that because they get walks and they get on through whatever means. 18 hits in 14 innings, plus another 5 walks on top of that. 23 opportunities with 2 home runs in there as well. Was not going to lead to success. Now, so we have the 2 different styles that have potential to score runs. In this series, I've talked about this, 15 of the 19 games during the regular season and now 2 out of 3 here in the postseason have gone over the total. Yesterday, I did my damnedest to cap it at an under, and it still went over. I had one side completely right, the other side, 16 runs like that. So it's hard to cap this and come to a conclusion that the under is going to come through today. Just the data is 17 out of 22 games going over. I think you have to find a reason not to go over, and I don't have one here with Sabathia, who gives up some runs, just not a ton, and Porcello, who gives up some runs as well, and we have the threat of a home run ball at any given time with Porcello. If I had to take a side, it's going to be Boston, but New York, traditionally in Game 4s, have been able to force a Game 5. And they have Sabathia, who's a veteran. He knows what he's doing, does well at home. So it really could go either way. I'm staying away from a side, but I am grabbing the over 9. So give me over 9. Red Sox, Yankees, Game 4. I'm going to play this one. I hate to say play it safe, but man, why not? Why would you not take over in this series? So good luck, everyone. I'll see you again soon.